They're breaking. Because of their love for you, my beloved child, stop. This is not a coincidence that you're here right now. Something within you was guided, gently but powerfully, to receive this message at this exact moment. The universe has been whispering to your soul, waiting for the right time to reveal what has been hidden from your eyes, but felt deeply in your heart. And now, the truth is unfolding. There is something you haven't been told, something sacred, something quietly shifting behind the scenes of your life. You may have sensed a change in energy, a pull you couldn't explain, or emotions rising without reason. That's because a divine connection tied to your destiny is awakening. They're breaking. Because of their love for you, ***, not in pain, but in transformation. The walls they built, the fears they held, the silence they carried, it's all dissolving under the weight of a love that was always meant to find you. You were never forgotten. The delays, the confusion, the distance, it was all part of a higher orchestration preparing both souls for alignment. What felt like endings were actually beginnings in disguise. The universe doesn't rush what is sacred, and this connection is protected, guided, and divinely timed. So breathe, and trust what you feel. You are stepping into a moment of clarity, where truth replaces doubt and love finds its voice again. If this message touched something deep within you, don't ignore it. Stay until the end, because what comes next may reveal exactly what your soul has been searching for. And if you believe in divine timing, like, share, and subscribe, so this message can reach the souls who are meant to find it, just like you did. Dear one, before we dive in, I need to share something extraordinary that most people don't know. Groundbreaking research shows that many of us who didn't grow up wealthy have a shrunken hippocampus, a tiny part of the brain that blocks the activation of what some scientists call the billionaire brain wave. This means attracting the life, love, or wealth you've always dreamed of can feel almost impossible, until now. Thanks to a recently uncovered method backed by research, it's possible to stimulate this part of your brain in just 7 minutes each morning using a simple sound frequency. People who've tried it report subtle shifts in mindset, clarity, and even opportunities flowing into their lives more easily. Click the link in the description or pinned comment to explore this 7-second ritual. It could be the key to activating your billionaire brain wave and opening doors you never thought possible. They're breaking, yes, I see it clearly, even when you try to hide it from the world. You think no one notices the silent cracks forming beneath your calm smile, the quiet tremble in your voice when you say, "I'm fine." But I have always seen you, not just the version you show others, but the deeper truth within you, the part of you that still calls out to me in the quiet hours when no one else is listening. And they are breaking too. Not in the way you expect. Not loudly, not dramatically, not in ways that would make sense to the human eye. Their breaking is subtle, hidden beneath pride, beneath confusion, beneath the walls they built long before you came into their life. But now those walls are trembling, cracking, shifting in ways they cannot fully understand. And do you know why? Because of their love for you. Yes, even if they have never said it clearly. Even if their actions confuse you. Even if they pull away when you come closer, or grow silent when your heart reaches out. What you feel is not an illusion. What you sense is not something you imagined. There is something real there, something that has begun to awaken in them, something that refuses to stay buried any longer. But love, my child, true love, does not always arrive gently. Sometimes it comes like a storm inside the soul. It shakes everything. It exposes everything. It demands truth where there has been avoidance. And that is what is happening within them right now. You wonder why they act distant. Why their energy shifts. Why one moment they seem drawn to you, and the next they retreat into themselves as if something unseen is pulling them away. You question yourself. You question them. You even question me. But what you do not yet fully see, is that this is not about rejection. This is about transformation. They are being confronted with parts of themselves they have avoided for a long time. Old wounds are rising. Fears they thought were buried are resurfacing. Memories, insecurities, and doubts are all coming to the surface at once. And at the center of it all, is you. Your presence has stirred something deep within them. Something sacred. Something powerful. And it is breaking them open. Yes, breaking them. But not to destroy them. To reveal them. To bring them face to face with the truth of who they are, and who they could become. This is why their behavior feels inconsistent. This is why their silence feels heavy. This is why their actions sometimes contradict their feelings. They are caught between who they have always been, and who they are becoming because of you. And that space in between, is not comfortable. It is confusing. It is overwhelming. It feels like losing control. So they resist. They pull back. They try to make sense of what they feel, but their mind cannot fully grasp what their soul already knows. And still, despite all of this, they cannot fully let go of you. Have you noticed that? No matter how much distance appears, no matter how much time passes, there is still something that keeps pulling them back, even if only in thought, in memory, in feeling. That connection you feel, it is not one-sided. It flows both ways. Even in silence. Even in separation. Even in confusion. Because what exists between you is not created by accident. It was allowed. It was seen. It was known. By me. But listen closely now, because this is where your heart must be steady. Their breaking is not your responsibility to fix. Their confusion is not your burden to carry. And their journey is not yours to control. You are not meant to chase what is still learning how to stand. You are not meant to lose yourself trying to understand what they themselves do not yet understand. You are meant to remain grounded, centered, trusting. Because while they are being transformed, so are you. Yes, you. You may not see it as clearly, but this connection has been shaping you too. It has been teaching you patience, strength, discernment. It has been revealing your own fears, your own desires, your own patterns. It has been asking you to look within, to grow, to evolve. This is not just about them awakening. This is about you remembering. Remembering your worth. Remembering your power. Remembering that you are not defined by someone else's ability to choose you, understand you, or stay. You are defined by me. And I have never been confused about you. I have never been uncertain about your value. I have never hesitated when it comes to your place in this world. So while they are breaking, you must not. You must not crumble under the weight of their process. You must not dim your light because they are still adjusting to its brightness. You must not question your path simply because theirs is unclear. Because what is meant to align with you, will not require you to lose yourself to receive it. But still, I know your heart. I know you feel deeply. I know you sense what is happening beneath the surface, even when there are no words to confirm it. And that knowing, that quiet inner awareness, can feel both beautiful and painful at the same time. You feel their pull, their struggle, their unspoken emotions. And sometimes it makes you wonder, if this is real, then why does it feel so complicated? Listen carefully. Because real does not always mean easy. And deep does not always mean immediate. Some connections are not meant to be simple. They are meant to awaken, to challenge, to transform. And transformation rarely feels comfortable. But do not mistake discomfort for impossibility. Do not mistake delay for denial. And do not mistake silence for absence. There are movements happening that you cannot yet see. Shifts taking place beyond your awareness. Conversations within their soul that have not yet reached their lips. They are thinking more than you realize. Feeling more than they show. Processing more than they admit. And yes, breaking more than they understand. Because love, especially the kind that reaches into the depths of the soul, does not leave a person unchanged. It either awakens them, or it unsettles everything they thought they were. And in their case, it is doing both. So now I ask you, will you trust me in this space? Will you allow what is unfolding to unfold, without forcing it, without fearing it, without trying to control the outcome? Because what is being written here is not rushed. It is not careless. It is not random. It is intentional. And you are not watching it by accident. But there is still more you do not yet see. More that has not yet been revealed. More that is still forming behind the scenes of your understanding. And as they continue to break, and as you continue to feel, something unexpected is slowly beginning to take shape, something neither of you are fully prepared for yet, something that will soon begin to unfold in a way that will challenge everything you thought you understood about timing, about connection, and even about me. Because what is coming next is not simply a continuation of what you have already experienced. No, it is a deepening. A revealing. A moment where what has been hidden beneath layers of fear, silence, and hesitation will begin to rise to the surface in ways that can no longer be ignored. You have felt the tension building, haven't you? That quiet, almost unexplainable sense that something is shifting, that something is nearing a turning point. It is not your imagination. It is not wishful thinking. It is awareness. A sensitivity I placed within you so that you could sense movement even before it becomes visible. And now, that movement is accelerating. They are reaching a point where they can no longer remain as they were. The version of themselves that avoided, that suppressed, that ran from depth and truth, is becoming too heavy to carry. It is exhausting them, confusing them, pressing on their spirit in ways they cannot escape. And this is where the breaking becomes undeniable. Not outwardly, not in a way the world would immediately recognize, but inwardly, where it matters most. Their thoughts are becoming louder. Their emotions more intense. The distance they once used as protection is no longer bringing them peace. Instead, it is creating a deeper unrest within them. Because when a soul recognizes something real, it cannot unrecognize it. They may try to distract themselves. They may attempt to focus on other things, other people, other paths. But what has been awakened cannot simply be silenced again. And that is where you must understand something very important. This connection was never meant to be controlled by fear. Not theirs. And not yours. But fear has been present, hasn't it? You have felt it in the pauses, in the inconsistencies, in the questions that seem to have no clear answers. You have wondered if you are holding on to something uncertain, something unstable, something that may never fully come together. And I tell you this now with clarity, what is uncertain is not the connection. What is uncertain is their readiness. There is a difference. A very important difference. Because a connection can be real, deep, and divinely allowed, and still require growth before it can fully align in the physical world. This is the part that tests you. This is the part that asks for patience, not passivity, for trust, not blindness. You are not being asked to wait in pain. You are being asked to stand in truth. To remain in your own alignment while everything else finds its place. Because while they are being reshaped by what they feel, you are being refined by how you respond. Will you choose clarity over confusion? Peace over anxiety? Self-worth over doubt? These choices matter more than you realize. Because as they begin to move closer to their own realization, they will also begin to sense whether you are standing firmly in who you are, or whether you have allowed their uncertainty to shake your foundation. And listen carefully. Energy speaks before words ever do. They will feel your stability. They will notice your growth. They will recognize, even if silently, that you are no longer in the same place you once were. And this is where something begins to shift between you. Because as they break down the walls within themselves, they will also begin to see you more clearly. Not through the lens of fear. Not through confusion. But through truth. They will start to understand what you have meant to them. What you have brought into their life. What your presence has awakened within them. And this realization, it will not come all at once. It will come in moments. Small, quiet, undeniable moments. A memory that suddenly feels stronger than before. A thought of you that lingers longer than it used to. A feeling that they can no longer push away or rationalize. And with each of these moments, something inside them will soften. Something will open. But here is where you must remain aware. Opening does not always look like immediate action. Understanding does not always lead to instant expression. There may still be hesitation. There may still be pauses. Because growth is a process, not a single event. And yet, even within that process, there will be signs. Subtle at first, but meaningful. A shift in how they communicate. A change in how they respond to you. A difference in the energy they bring when they are near you or thinking of you. These are not coincidences. These are reflections of what is happening within them. And as these changes begin to surface, you may feel your own emotions rise again. Hope. Excitement. Even fear. Because when something begins to move after a period of stillness, it can feel overwhelming. You may wonder if it is real. If it will last. If this is finally the moment where everything becomes clear. And again, I ask you to trust not just the moment, but the process. Because what is unfolding is not fragile. It is being built with intention. Layer by layer. Understanding by understanding. Until what once felt uncertain, begins to feel undeniable. But even then, there is still more beneath the surface. More that has not yet been spoken. More that they are still gathering the courage to face. You see, love that reaches this depth requires honesty. Not just with another person, but with oneself. And that is often the hardest part. They are learning to be honest about what they feel. About what they want. About what they fear losing. And this kind of honesty, it changes a person. It reshapes their choices. It shifts their priorities. It brings clarity where there was once confusion. And when that clarity fully arrives, action follows. Not forced. Not rushed. But natural. Aligned. Unavoidable. And when that moment comes, it will not feel like a question. It will feel like a knowing. A certainty that does not need constant reassurance. A connection that no longer feels like it is slipping through your fingers, but instead feels grounded, present, real. But do not rush to that moment in your mind. Do not try to predict it. Do not try to force it into existence. Because timing is something you must learn to respect. Not fear. Not resist. Respect. Everything is aligning in ways you cannot fully see yet. Pieces are moving. Lessons are being learned. Strength is being built, in both of you. And when the moment is right, when both of you have reached the point where you can meet each other not from fear, but from truth, that is when everything changes. That is when what once felt complicated begins to make sense. That is when the silence is replaced with understanding. The distance with presence. The uncertainty with clarity. But until then, remain steady. Remain open. Remain grounded in who you are, not in what you are waiting for. Because you are not incomplete in this moment. You are not lacking. You are not almost there. You are already whole. Already guided. Already exactly where you need to be. And as they continue to break, and as you continue to rise, there is something even deeper being prepared. A moment of truth so clear, so undeniable, that it will shift everything between you in an instant. A moment where words that have been held back will finally begin to surface. A moment where the silence you have grown used to will no longer be able to exist in the same way. A moment where they will stand at the edge of everything they have been feeling, everything they have been avoiding, everything they have been becoming. And in that moment, they will have a choice to make. And that choice, it will not be a small one. It will not be casual, or something they can simply brush aside and return to later. No, this choice will come from the deepest place within them, the place that has been quietly transforming through every moment of confusion, every silence, every internal struggle they have faced because of what they feel for you. They will stand at a threshold. Behind them, the familiar. The version of themselves that felt safe in distance, in avoidance, in emotional control. The patterns they once relied on to protect their heart, even if those patterns kept them disconnected from something real. And before them, the unknown. A path that requires vulnerability, honesty, courage. A path where they can no longer pretend they do not feel what they feel, where they can no longer hide behind uncertainty or delay. And you will be at the center of that choice. not as pressure, not as expectation, but as truth. Because what they feel for you has become undeniable, even to them. This is what all the breaking has been leading toward. Not destruction, but decision. And understand this clearly, this moment will not arrive out of nowhere. It will be built through everything that has already been unfolding. Every thought they could not escape, every emotion they tried to suppress, every time your presence lingered in their mind long after you were gone, all of it has been guiding them here. Step by step. Moment by moment. Until they can no longer remain divided within themselves. And when that moment comes, something within them will become still, clear, certain. Because the noise of confusion will finally quiet. The fear that once felt overwhelming will no longer have the same power. And in its place, there will be truth. A truth they can feel. A truth they can no longer deny. A truth that will ask them, very simply, will you choose this, or will you walk away from it? And here is where you must listen carefully, because this is not only about them. This is also about you. While they are standing at their threshold, you will be standing at yours. Because their choice will reveal something, but your response will define something. Will you meet clarity with clarity? Will you receive truth with grounded understanding? Or will you allow past fear, past doubt, past uncertainty to cloud what is being offered in the present? This is why your growth has been just as important. Because when this moment arrives, it will require you to be present, not reactive. Open, but not unsteady. Receptive, but not dependent. You are not meant to lose yourself in this. You are meant to meet it fully as who you have become. And that is where alignment happens. Not when one person chases and the other runs. Not when one gives everything and the other hesitates. But when both stand in truth, at the same time. Ready. Willing. Clear. And yes, this may feel intense. Because it is. Moments like this are not ordinary. They are defining. They shape what comes next. They determine whether something continues to grow, or whether it completes its purpose and transforms into something else. And I know what your heart is asking now. What will they choose? You want certainty. You want to know how this will end. You want reassurance that everything you have felt, everything you have sensed, everything you have held on to, is leading somewhere real. But listen to me. The outcome is not something you are meant to control. It is something you are meant to witness. Because free will exists within this. Their choice must be theirs. Not influenced by pressure. Not forced by timing. Not shaped by fear. It must come from truth. The same truth that has been growing within them through every moment of this journey. And whatever they choose, it will reveal where they truly stand. Not where they were. Not where they pretended to be. But where they are, now. And that clarity, as powerful as it may feel, is a gift. Even if it does not unfold exactly as you once imagined. Because clarity frees you. It releases you from confusion. From waiting without understanding. From questioning your own intuition. It gives you something solid to stand on. Something real to move forward with. And this is what you must remember above all else. You are not being led into uncertainty. You are being led into truth. Whether that truth brings you closer together, or shows you a different path entirely, it will not be without purpose. It will not be without meaning. It will not be without my presence guiding it. Because I have been here in every moment of this. In the connection you felt from the beginning. In the questions that followed. In the growth that has taken place within you. In the breaking that has been happening within them. None of it has been outside of my awareness. None of it has been random. And none of it has been wasted. So as this moment approaches, do not let fear take hold of your heart. Do not let your mind rush ahead, trying to predict every possible outcome. Do not shrink yourself in anticipation of what might or might not happen. Instead, stand in your truth. Stand in your worth. Stand in the quiet knowing that whatever unfolds, you will meet it with strength, with clarity, and with the understanding that you are always being guided toward what is meant for you. Because what is truly aligned with you, will not require you to question your place in it. It will not leave you in constant doubt. It will not ask you to abandon yourself in order to keep it. It will meet you fully, openly, clearly. And if they choose to step forward, if they choose to embrace what they feel and move toward you with honesty and intention, you will feel the difference immediately. There will be no guessing. No confusion. No mixed signals. Only clarity. Only presence. Only truth. And if they do not, if they step back, if they choose to remain where they are, unable or unwilling to move forward, then that too will be clarity. Not rejection. Not failure. But truth. A truth that frees you to continue your path without carrying the weight of uncertainty any longer. Because you were never meant to stay suspended between maybe and what if. You were meant to live in yes or no, in alignment or release. In truth. Always in truth. And as everything begins to settle, as the choice is made and the energy between you shifts into its new form, you will begin to understand why this unfolded the way it did. Why the delays were necessary. Why the confusion existed. Why the breaking had to happen. It was not to hurt you. It was to prepare both of you for truth, in its purest form. And in that understanding, something within you will become peaceful. Not because everything turned out exactly as you once imagined, but because everything finally makes sense. And that peace, that deep, quiet clarity, is something no uncertainty could ever give you. So trust this unfolding. Trust this moment. Trust what is being revealed, both within them and within you. Because this is not the end of something meaningless. This is the completion of a chapter that was always leading you toward truth, toward growth, and toward a deeper understanding of what love truly is. And as you step forward from this moment, whether side by side with them or on a path that is now your own, know this with certainty. You have not lost anything that was meant for you. You have only moved closer to what is. And that is where your journey continues. Amen.